It's the Football Daft podcast with Ewen and Grado. It's now time to introduce our very special guest today. He's famous for his role as Bobby in Scot Squad. He even got nominated for a BAFTA for New Talent at the 2015 awards ceremony. Please welcome to the show, Darren Connell. Hello there, Darren.
Thank you for having me on today,
nice
guys.
to have you, my friend. One of my favourite characters from Scot Squad. You with Officer Karen, but there's no Officer Karen with Bobby today. Our second guest is the creator of Scot Squad and co-founder of Belter Studios. It's Joe Hullait. Is that how you say your second name?
Hullait. Approximately Hullait. You'd have to say it with an Indian accent if you wanted to go accurate, and I just don't do it.
For a while, I used to just call you Joe Halloumi.
You did.
Why?
I don't know, actually.
Is that just
It
because you
worked-
were
it kinda
hungry?
works.
Hanging about Nando's, probably.
Aye.
Have we ever
What-
gone for Nando's?
No. Have we went for a Nando's, Dan, before?
No,
But we
haven't.
will never, ever go back to a Nando's. I don't know if you wanted to talk about it, but you are now a vegan.
Yes.
And I'm actually proud of you because you're looking good. And my brother said he's been doing veganism for a couple of weeks. I mean, I don't think I could handle it, but how are you getting
He
on?
tricked you into a vegan meal.
He did. He took me out for macaroni and cheese, a doner kebab. What else was on it?
Chips.
Aye. And he said this was all vegan. Oh,
Yep.
fuck off.
It was in the Flying Duck. It's a vegan
Aye,
restaurant, vegan beer, everything's vegan. And he's like, that's no vegan. I was like,
Aye.
how is it no vegan?
Because it tastes good.
And we nearly had a fight in the middle of the restaurant
Aye.
in front of all these hipsters.
Aye. And then I must admit, about 2 weeks later, I googled and I was like, fucking is vegan right enough. That was gorgeous in there.
And the food was good.
The food was good.
How was the macaroni?
It tasted like like a nice macaroni.
Obviously, I couldn't go back for 12 weeks because I took him in and they were looking at us like I was a fucking idiot. But can I
Constantly
swear?
seen there.
Sorry.
I can say what you like, Darren. Go. This is no holds barred.
I had to actually apologise to the bar staff. I was like, I'm really sorry about him, man. They're like, aye, we know.
So this is a bit of a Scot Squad special. We've got the creator of Scot Squad and two of the stars from Scot Squad with Grado and Darren. Grado, you played the part of
PC Hugh McCurdy.
PC Hugh McCurdy. We've got Darren who plays the part of
Bobby Muir.
Bobby Muir, who is a well-loved character along with Officer Karen. And Joe, did you create these characters? Is this what you envisaged when you were? No, you didn't
We
envisage,
didn't envisage
these.
it.
You didn't envisage
Well,
these two.
Darren, there was never going to be a character like Bobby, and then Darren came to the audition, and he's obviously too out there to be a policeman. Maybe, I don't know if you would agree with that.
Aye.
But we then created a recurring nuisance character. So the power of Darren's audition made the part happen. And then Grado wasn't in the pilot. There was another traffic cop, couldn't do it.
Aye, it was last minute, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I was like, I get the call on a Friday to start basically on a Monday as a postman because I was originally written in to just be a robber. I applied to be a police officer on 3 occasions.
What a real policeman!
Yeah. First, when I was 16, to be a police cadet, and I applied in 2007, and I didn't get by the first interview. Then I had to wait a year, 2008, and reapplied. I got by the first interview, the second interview. I passed the fitness test, funnily enough, and I had one more interview to go, and I just made a complete arse of it.
Is that why you never got in?
I guess I started talking about the bill and all that.
There was something else, wasn't there?
What was it? Oh, aye. It was like, the other one was, what do you think about sectarianism? I was like, I got to go to Ibrox, but I don't sing the Billy Boys. Then I went on to be a community warden in Ardrossan, which is like basically a council policeman. So nobody likes you. Folk would spit at you. You know, we wore a red uniform. Everybody called us either the Red Mafia or the Rednecks.
Red Mafia's cool.
Red Mafia's cool. I thought Red Mafia was alright. But one time we turned into a street where there was like a mega riot, and I thought that my door was unlocked. So when we turned in, we got barricaded in, and so instead of me pressing lock, I actually fucking unlocked the door. And they fucking opened the door, folk throwing punches, had to reverse out, go back up, man, and the best it was, I was the youngest community warden there by like 30 years. So it was like me and this old man in his 60s. They'd just been absolutely hounded after the young team.
How old were
Did he
you at
get
the
punched?
time?
I was what would have been 2008? What's that? I'd have been 20. So I mean, the pair wee guy, man, he was shitting himself. the good side to that was we get the rest of the night off. You know, we're phoning the boss and says, look, we've just been attacked, kind of thing. And then I way up the road, well, fucking getting there. Yes.
So there was a silver lining.
There was a silver lining. We got a couple of off.
Well,
Sorry.
Let's talk to our guest.
I know.
Darren, let's start with you, mate. Right? Kevin Bridges apparently, so we read, convinced you to give up working at a supermarket to go full time in comedy. After he ended up in a session with him. So you and him were out on a session, you told him you worked at a supermarket, and he convinced you to step away from that job and go comedy full time. Is that true?
Yes. We were doing a gig one night at the Stand, and I had a pull of sickie, and I was so worried about it. I was just like, I'm going to get the sack. And he just literally went, what the fuck are you doing? You're a stand-up comedian. And we went out for a couple of beers that night, and he was just like, chuck it and just pursue comedy. And it was just hearing that for somebody like for his kind of stature. I was like, aye, do you know what? I'm going to chuck it and go for it. Because I was just caught up in a dead-end job and stuck and worried and stuff. And because I was just like, a stand-up comedian's a weird job. How am I going to earn a living for that? And as soon as he said go for it, I was like, aye, fuck it.
So was it like...
That's what Darren brought to the role, because Bobby's a trolley boy and Darren was a trolley boy, and that wouldn't have happened if it wasn't Darren playing it. So that's the real life inspiration. Yeah, they were like, what do you want to make Bobby? And I was just like, trolley boy. And they were like, I couldn't afford contact lenses. This is true as well. I couldn't afford contact lenses at the time, so I was like, can I keep the glasses?
The glasses
They're my old glasses. They're not even prop. They're no prop glasses. I used to wear them when I was 16.
Is that the glasses that you've got like, when you put up old pictures and there's pictures of you at school? Is that them? Yep. That's the exact glasses.
NHS specs. And they're about 15-year-old.
I thought those were prop glasses.
Oh, they're brilliant, but they make it.
So that scene that you're in every week with Officer Karen are your glasses?
Yes.
And you wore them?
Yep, and it's because I couldn't get contact lenses.
That's amazing.
But thank God it's worked out, isn't it?
So Kevin Bridges gives you that advice, right? Give up the supermarket, give up the full-time job, get yourself into comedy. Was there at any point after you decided to quit the job you thought, what the fuck am I doing? I've made a mistake here. Did you think you made the wrong decision?
I don't know about that, but it definitely gave me fear. Like, it took away the stability of having a job and stuff. And
regular income.
Yeah, and I did struggle at first. I had to go back into work. I was working with friends and all that kind of stuff. But it was the best thing I did, because as soon as I chucked it, I just done that. I am a stand-up comedian in my head.
You've got to go for it. Well, look at me. I was in the fire brigade for all the years. I was always scared to do the jump, man.
You say that like you were a fireman.
What?
You delivered that line like you were a fireman.
I know. Well, a firefighter, in brackets, control.
I was in the control room.
Aye, I mean,
pretending to be a firefighter.
Well, I still had the same uniform on as what they wear when they don't go on fires.
Did they?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine phoning 999 and he answers the phone, man.
Do you know that's what? Do you know? Speaking of the community wardens, that was the last. So it was an ex-copper was the head of the community wardens in my base. So he had chucked the police after like 30 years. He was in his 50s, and on my last day as a community warden, he never liked me. He shook my hand and went, "I just pray to God that my old ma never is in a house fire, and you pick up the phone. Good luck."
Do you know what? I need to agree with him.
I was good at what I done. I was good. I won awards.
You won awards.
Darren, are you getting pissy sick of people going, "Where's Officer Karen?" when you're out and about in the street?
No, it doesn't bother me.
You can't let it bother you, man.
I don't really get spotted. See if I wear my
You don't
glasses.
look like Bobby.
Well, thank you. If I wear my glasses, I get it. See if I don't wear my glasses, I don't get it. But see if anybody shouts Officer Karen or anything like that, I enjoy it.
Aye.
See, at the end of the day, I'm grateful for it, and it's good fun. It is good fun.
Do you get recognised with your accent? Does anybody ever go, "You're the guy from Scot Squad, the narrator"?
Me?
Aye, does anybody ever say that?
See, you stood in the chippy asking for like a fish supper or something.
I recognise that.
I recognise the voice. Yeah.
Aye, you've never had that. Never had that.
Never.
See when you sat down with the idea for Scot Squad, did you envisage it being the success it turned out to be?
No. I don't really remember too much because it was like a month after I'd started working in TV, and you just have meetings with people and you have like 10 ideas you talk through, and then there's one that someone kind of lights up at and goes, yeah, there's something in that. So obviously, being naive back then, I would have hoped it would have been good, and I'd never have that optimism now. It's just lucky that it did end up being like that, but I did not think this is like the best part of a decade, isn't it? It's taken hold.
Is it that long?
Yeah, well, the idea first came 2010, filmed the pilot 2011, pilot went out 2012, filmed the first series 2014.
Was there no incident when the pilot was meant to go out in there? Was there no somebody get shot or something like that?
Yeah, there was a police firearms incident that was big in the news, so it meant that the pilot had to get delayed.
Really?
Yep.
That's crazy, man. But did that not happen in an episode as well once? One of the episodes had to get switched, because I'm sure that happened as well. Something happened.
Yeah, that sort of thing happens quite a lot, I think. There's often stuff that's not going to be that offensive, or it probably won't, but if you've got a selection of episodes, the BBC will decide to switch them around. But I remember when something like that happened and everyone goes, guys, great decision, really respect you for that decision, but it's the BBC that tell you that that's not going to go out.
Not to bring the tone level, not to bring the tone down, but I know that one of the episodes was the week my mum died, and it was a scene where I was on the phone to my mum.
I was getting grief from that online, and people going, oh, you should know better and all this, and I was like, what the fuck? We're friends.
I was like, it's perfect.
Aye.
Like, the BBC phoned me, they were like, this episode goes out tonight, you're speaking to your mum. I'm like, well, it's fictional character anyway.
Yeah.
I was like, no, it's perfect.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, we had the BBC call our family when my uncle had died.
Aye.
And the funeral was on the day that he was in the final of Mastermind.
That's right.
And they were going to delay the episode. We went, no, don't.
was that your uncle?
That was my uncle, yeah.
What?
Uncle Hamish, yeah.
That's crazy.
That's my
Wow.
uncle. So they phoned on the day that we buried him and says, we're going to delay the episode. We went, don't do that. He wants that. He would want that to go out. So we buried him in the morning, and we all sat as a family and watched him at night on the final of Mastermind.
That's cool.
And that was
That's
that's a
nice.
good tribute.
That's a
But
great tribute, yeah.
Weird thing to bring this topic round, but when you say you buried him that day, that always makes me think of Keith Chegwin episode of Extras, where, have you seen it?
No.
Where he's going, the line is, I buried my sister today.
Aye.
And he keeps getting it wrong, and he's saying, my sister buried me today. It's really funny.
Aye.
Can I say the Keith
Yes, you
Chegwin
can
thing?
say it.
The day Grado's mum died. Sorry, I shouldn't be laughing.
I know.
And I messaged him, and he said, oh, I can't fucking believe Keith Chegwin and my mum died on the same day. Because that's what happened. And that was his first reaction. I was like, you all right? He's like, Keith Chegwin's dead.
Always time, you know what I mean? Put a light spin on it.
yeah.
Because obviously people are texting me and
Aye.
they feel uncomfortable and all of that. And I went, oh, there we go. We've lost my mum and Cheggers on the same day.
I think I framed the message.
You know what I mean?
We'll talk more about Scot Squad and whether there'll be a new series coming back short, but let's talk football, because this is a Football Daft podcast. Grado, you're a Rangers man, as everybody knows that listens to this podcast. Joe, who do you support?
West Ham.
What's your Scottish team?
Greenock Morton.
No, it's no, he likes Celtic.
I'm wearing green.
You're a Celtic man in Scotland.
Yeah.
So Celtic and West Ham are your teams. Darren,
Yep.
what team do you support?
Partick Thistle.
He's talking shite.
Celtic.
So you're a Celtic man as
Yes,
well, right?
yes.
Okay.
We went to a game together recently.
He's did not, did he?
Yeah. Who was it?
What
it
game was
Valencia?
it? Valencia.
Yeah, it was the Europa League
Qualifier.
one.
terrible
in, like,
anyway,
March.
but
It was
it's done.
terrible. It was boring.
Yeah, it was terrible.
But Darren, long story, Darren looks after my cat when I'm away, and I need to pay him somehow. So he went to a football game and had a kebab, meat free. That was it. That's the
Aye,
story.
that's it.
So he looks after the cat. So,
So was it because of Darren's influence that you became a Celtic fan?
no, well, I said my mum's from Greenock.
So why you don't
my-
support
my-
Morton then?
Well, yeah. No, that's my mum's family.
That's the tradition in the family.
That's the
Celtic,
tradition
aye.
in the family.
what
They're all
happens, isn't
Celtic
it?
fans, so
That's what happens.
What about Celtic, Darren, this season? 5 wins out of 5, top of the league. You beat Rangers a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I've got no complaints as a Celtic fan. I like Scottish football. I went away for it for a wee while there.
Why
but
was that, Darren?
I could just enjoying other things.
Like what were you enjoying, Darren? Were you like shopping on a Saturday afternoon?
meat.
Tell you.
Were you?
He was eating meat.
Was that all right? Were you eating meat at this point in your life? You were enjoying meat before you turned vegan.
I'm feeling very triggered right now. Can you back off? Can you back off and let me breathe?
Dan, are we allowed to talk about where you went?
What do you mean?
Mentally.
Peru.
Peru if you want.
Aye, can we talk about just I know obviously. 'Cause
Wow, we've just gone from him
this
taking
is-
time
I
away
wanna
from
talk-
football
this
and
is-
went to Peru.
You want to talk about the hoops?
Right, hold on a wee second. So
you were giving it direction.
yeah, and then you've just suddenly
Sorry if I
taken-
fucked this up.
No, you haven't. Just let me. Is this part of what Grado's getting at here? So you walked away from football because you went to do other things. Was Peru one of those things?
There's a good Celtic supporters bus there in Peru. So no, just like
Peru,
you know how that way.
CSC.
Like for a couple of years, I just didn't enjoy it. I liked other things like films and wrestling and all that, and then it got good again. And see, when I was younger as well, Celtic were shite. Like, see, Rangers 9 in a row.
Aye.
Like, well, I actually kind of liked Rangers when I was younger.
What?
And, like, I
Right,
was
so were you a glory hunter? Is it when Rangers were the most successful team in Scotland that you thought I quite like them?
well, I was in the boys' brigade. All my pals were Rangers fans, so I just supported Rangers.
So the influence with the pals and all
Aye.
that stuff, right? You wanted to be fit in and be part of that team.
Yeah.
Right. So what happened that you moved to Celtic?
I seen the light. I seen the light. No, it was just one of the ones.
How old were you when you quote unquote seen the light?
My dad was a coach for Celtic, like a Celtic youth team, and I met Paul McStay, and I just remember him being like a really nice guy.
Who Paul McStay was?
Aye,
I think he's married to a woman from Greenock.
and I just
Paul
remember
McStay
thinking
is?
like, I loved how he was so nice
Cool.
to everybody and cool. And I did a tour of the Celtic Park when it was getting done up, when Fergus McCann was there, and I was just like, aye.
This is for me.
This is for me.
This is forget the Rangers.
Yep.
I know I'm a Celtic man at heart.
Yep.
Did you feel it when you walked through those gates at the stadium? This is for me. This is
Yeah.
my team.
So I had a rough patch for a couple of years, but
Right. So you love the Celtic.
He likes to text me now and again when.
Aye, when Celtic are doing well.
Aye.
I
Just
did
to rub
bam
you
you up.
He
He
does
blocked
that,
me
right.
once because he took a bite.
He actually blocked you.
Yep. And then see the other night, see the game a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, the
I was
2-0 game.
texting him and I was bamming him up, and he actually texted me, "Please leave me alone."
So Grado mentioned it. You took some time out from the football, and you apparently ended up in Peru.
Yeah.
What were you doing in Peru and why?
I went to Peru for about 3 weeks, and I was on a spiritual detox to take ayahuasca.
How cool was this?
Say that again.
I took ayahuasca.
What's ayahuasca?
It's a plant-based medicine that makes you purge. So,
Right.
ironically, when I was purging into a bucket, I was wearing my Celtic socks.
Is that what you were looking at when you were purging?
Honestly, like, see when you take ayahuasca, right, you're supposed, like, see some of the shit you see, like, you actually see the face of fucking Jesus, and I'm wearing C.R. Smith Celtic socks right now. Like I feel like apologising to God. But
Right, hold on. So you take this ayahuasca.
I don't get it. Does it make you sick?
So what do you see? What is it? How long are you seeing these visions for?
Right. So it's made from 3 different types of things. It's 2 different types of tree bark and something called DMT.
Right.
You drink it,
Uh-huh.
and then it makes you physically purge. It's supposed to make you spiritually purge as well.
Right.
So, like, depression, anxiety, self-doubt, all that kind of stuff leaves you.
Right.
And you don't really see anything when you're purging. You're just being sick into a bucket. But the experience of purging, I could actually feel anxiety leave me and depression leave me. It's hardcore. It's really intense.
So when you're being sick, how are you feeling?
Like I was going to die. I actually felt like I was going to die. I was over there and I was probably just a wee bit over 20 stone in the middle of the jungle, just thinking, what the fuck is happening here? No sugar, no alcohol, no cigarettes. It was a complete detox. I've never done that in my life, so I was fucked on top of taking
This
ayahuasca.
stuff. So what are you seeing? What can you see? Well, how do you feel once you've been sick?
You feel better after it, but during it, it's really mental.
Did you see Jesus?
I seen something.
Didn't you see Ainsley Harriott? Or was that just... No, because... we wrote it into Scot Squad, and he had a vision of Ainsley Harriott with a little chef's hat. But
Yeah.
did that happen?
Well, I said that that was a part. I said that for Scot Squad. I mean, I love Ainsley Harriott, right? He just, all joking aside, he seems like a great guy, man.
Aye.
See that time when he kicked down that old woman's door?
That was the
and
best.
he came in with a walk and all
Well,
that.
hello,
Hello, Jill. That was
he seems like one of the boys.
Aye.
That is my bucket list. I want to eat an omelette with Ainsley Harriott. He just seems like a good guy, man.
I get roped into. I'm saying roped in. I bought it myself. But you know when you get these shitty Facebook ads and there's like these random t-shirts. I bought an Ainsley Harriott t-shirt and it was like no even just his face, like he's the t-shirt, like his face covered the whole t-shirt. Do you know what I mean? Like his eyes was up there, his ears were there. A big Ainsley full BAFTA Ainsley Harriott t-shirt.
Have you still go with it?
I put it in the wash once and his face fucking rubbed off. Fucking 25 notes.
So there you are, you're purging, you're in the middle of the jungle in Peru, and you see visions, lots of visions. Was Ainsley Harriott part of your vision?
Sadly, no.
Sadly, no. So who was in your vision? And did you come out of it believing in something you didn't believe before you went in?
I definitely believe that there is, I know this is mental, isn't it? I don't want you to judge me, but I believe that there's life after death.
Yeah.
I believe that during the process of taking this, I peeked behind a curtain and I seen some other reality.
Wow, this is really intriguing. So you
That's cool.
think you peeked behind the curtain of another life?
Yep.
And that's convinced you that there is life after death?
Yes.
What did you see when you peeked round the curtain?
It's so
Keith Chegwin.
I imagine
You know, you blocked me on Twitter, and I'll never know why.
That is what I love about Scot Squad. The fact that sometimes we go through these experiences in life and we get to add them into the show, which
Yeah.
we've done a few times. As you've done with Peru, me the shit with singing kettle.
So, Joe, I take it then you speak to the guys and then you take out little bits of their life and add it to the actual Scot Squad series.
Yeah, it's a lot easier with these two because I'm friends with them outside of the show. So I know stuff like that, like Darren going to Peru and hearing all of that, and it's a lot easier to incorporate. But we do sit down with all the cast members and chat and try, where possible, to bring those things in real life. It's very easy with these two because they're living such mad lives.
Who's your least favourite character in the show?
Fuck off.
Come on, Joe, spill
No,
the beans.
no.
Stop being you and Cameron.
What do you mean stop being you and Cameron?
that's the thing.
You ask this question every time with the football guest.
Oh, well, that's true.
Who's the worst person
Right.
in the dressing
I'll
room?
give you
That's true.
In the next series, I will cast you so I have a definitive answer.
Love it.
You're not getting a new series. I've been on the phone to the BBC.
But Joe, there has been an abundance of famous folk that want to be on the show, didn't you? You've had emails and phone calls, going to geese apart.
Yeah, and Lewis Capaldi started following me. So,
Nice.
Oh, that would be good.
yeah.
That would be good. He's following you for a reason, mate. He wants that phone call.
He really needs Scot Squad. Come on. But
Joe,
you have Lorraine.
We had Lorraine Kelly.
Did she ask to be on it? I love
Yeah,
that
yeah.
scene.
Lorraine Kelly
I love
asked to
the
be on
Lorraine-
it,
I
and
love
she was
Lorraine.
and the best thing because she was taking the piss out of Piers Morgan. He then retweeted it.
It's
I never
perfect.
saw this because he's blocked me for good reason.
Piers Morgan blocked you as well, and Cheggers blocked you. Bloody hell.
I've worked out there's a way you get blocked by Piers Morgan, right? Because he reads his tweets. If you start it with a sarcastic, like you're praising him. So I said, the thing I love about Piers Morgan is, and then I put whatever it was I was insulting him with, blocked. And then I did it on another account and he blocked me again.
Brilliant.
So that's
You know
what happened. But he shared the clip from Scot Squad. That's his persona, isn't it? People taking the piss out of him. So
It's-
it worked.
Also funny the amount of people that will tweet me if I put or if somebody an account posts a scene for Scot Squad, the likes of me, the one where we're chasing the coffin, and the amount of folk that will go, "This is terrible," as in they believe that this is an actual police fucking documentary. This is
Real life.
How many people fall for it? I get it all the time.
But you're weirdly believable. No,
Thanks.
do you know what I mean? In the last series as well, because there was no
Last series was my favourite.
There was in the last series there was no singing stuff, no dancing. It was like dead serious crime that you were dealing with, and he does it in such a serious way that you just completely buy into it.
And
It was
people
really
watch
good.
and think it's a real documentary behind the scenes with real policemen,
Aye.
and you're chasing coffins.
There's a guy that was on Big Brother or something, and he went, "This is outrageous. how the police service this man should be fucking suspended and all this." And I'm like, are you fucking daft? You know what I mean?
It's crazy.
No, you're no fucking Big Brother.
Is there going to be a new series of Scot
Hope so.
Squad? What would you mean hope so? You'd think with the success of the last series that it would just be like easy peasy, there's this fucking contract, go and sign it.
You would think. I'm just finishing working on The State of It, which is a new sketch show of Robert
Oh, it's
Florence,
good.
coming out later this year, and then we'll focus on what's happening with Scot Squad. But we last year we won a BAFTA, so you would
That was
hope-
good. That was a good
That
night,
was
wasn't
great,
it?
which he never came to the.
I know.
award.
Why did you not come down?
I was in the cinema.
The best thing about it is he was in the cinema and someone came up to him and said congratulations.
You had
Yeah.
no idea.
Yeah, I was like on what? Eating a hot dog.
You know the best thing about that night, because we got that photo together holding the statue, which Grado says is whichever one of us dies first, that will be the photo that the other person posts.
Aye. So, exactly. So if Joe dies, I'm going to put up rest in peace, Joe. No, that's fucking. I forgot about that. Aye.
Here's us when we won our BAFTA together. Joe
Aye.
was such a nice guy.
Aye.
Joe gave me my opportunity on the telly. Thanks, Joe. Love you. Rest in peace, man.
Mine will just be R.I.P. Hugh and a kiss.
So there will be a new series because if you've won a BAFTA, then surely the BBC are going to go.
never know, mate.
And
You
they,
never know.
but they need content for their new channel, so it's going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm sure. But there's plenty of ideas floating around, so when it comes to it, it won't be a problem.
So what's the next Celtic game you're going to go and see? What's the plans? You two going to go and see a Celtic game
probably
anytime
we'll
soon?
try and get tickets for the last one of the season, where it's 9 in a row.
Fuck's sake.
Grado's not having that.
Aye, they know how to tangle my buttons. Tangle my buttons.
Tango your buttons.
I don't know.
Joe, Darren, it's been an absolute pleasure having
Hold
you.
on. I can't really tangle my buttons. I need to say something better than that.
You've said it now. It's recorded. It's done. It's
What
in
the
the can.
fuck is tangle my buttons?
Will you
Can-
tell me? Do you want to explain what tangled your buttons is before we let the guys go?
I have no idea,
I understand it.
but you get it.
Yeah.
What does it mean then, Darren, if you get it? Have you peeked round that fucking curtain again?
Fuck it, I like tangle my buttons.
What does it mean?
Oh, by the way, hold on. Dan,
Aye.
you're playing this weekend, stand up, you know?
Oh, I am doing a solo show.
Are you? Wait a bit.
Not this weekend.
All right.
It's East Kilbride Village.
He's reading this out, by the way.
Oh, here.
We can do a natural plug.
Look,
Watch.
Right.
Ask me how I discovered him. I'll talk about stand-up.
Right. So Joe, how did you discover Darren?
Well, we have lots of ways of discovering people to be in Scot Squad. So Grado was brought to our attention through Robert Florence,
That's right.
who'd seen him on wrestling and had cast him in a pilot that they did called The Sunny.
The Sunny.
So everyone thinks that the first acting thing that Grado did was Scot Squad. It wasn't. It was The Sunny. Darren, I was doing stand-up at the time. I don't do it anymore. And I was at Red Raw at the stand, and I saw Darren, and we got chatting, and he had a very good performance. His stand-up is really good. It's very dark. I would recommend that people who are into Scot Squad go and see it, because it's
Aye.
complete. You think you're getting Bobby, and you're not. You're getting more along the lines of the ayahuasca stuff, and it's really good. You gigging anytime soon?
Yes, I am. Saturday, the 5th of October, I'm in East Kilbride at
East
the
Kilbride.
Village Theatre. The show is called Abandon All Hope. It might be over an hour, maybe an hour and a half, and it's what kind of stuff. I mean, I've done a gig with you before,
Aye,
Grado.
aye.
You've seen me do stand-up.
Mate, I love your stand-up because, again, everybody thinks it's going to be, oh, what's it, Karen? And it's so fucking mental and like,
Yeah,
out
when I
there and
saw
on the
him-
edge, and you're a bit like, oh,
Aye.
can you get away with
you were
that? I'm
smoking
like,
carrots last time.
Yes.
Aye, aye.
Remember that time, the first time you came to see me in Edinburgh?
oh my God, this is the best story ever. Can you please tell it? This is the most fucking
You want to try and explain? No,
Right,
fact, it's going to get us
right.
cancelled, isn't it?
No. Right, hold on. This is the most bizarre thing ever.
Grado is there with his ex-girlfriend. Mistress McGarra is there as well, our pal.
So she was.
McGarra Fury, yeah.
And I go out halfway through a fringe
It's
run.
so dark.
I'm absolutely fucked. It's for some reason they've made it a 14 plus, right? So I'm out there doing my dark material, talking about mental health, and my eyesight is terrible as well. So see, towards the end of the show, I realise that there's a dad sitting there with his son, and the dad is gutted. He's tutting, and he's like, "Oh, God's sake, this is brutal." And I turned to the dad and I did that. Oh, mate, I never realised the wee man was there. If the wee man was there, I would have changed my material. Dying in my arse, just trying to have a conversation. Grado's sitting in the back. He's no fucking laughed once. I'm like that in my head. This is the first time he's ever seen me do stand-up. I'm dying on my fucking arse. And then I just do that. Oh, I thought the wee guy was a midget. No. It was a throwaway comment. I was dying on my arse. I was struggling. When I said midget, the whole room went completely silent. And I'm looking at Grado, he's like that with his hands over his face in shock. And I'm staring at the wee guy, because he was a 14-year-old wee guy. And I was like, he's not a midget. Like, why is everybody acting like that? And I was like, what? I'm blind and I thought you were a midget. See, the second time I said a midget, I could actually hear Grado do that. Oh, for fuck's sake. And then I done that, what? Is there any midgets in? And then all I heard was, aye, there's 3 of us. And it's no midget, it's dwarf. And I looked at the back and there was 3 dwarfs sitting at the back.
Sitting next to me. It was me, my ex-girlfriend, and 3 dwarfs sitting there fucking raging.
Aye, but the only people that were laughing were the dwarfs, and everybody else was like, can we laugh? So
It was just the way you went, what, there's no any midgets in here, is there? Aye, there's 3.
I'm sweating through a black t-shirt, sweat dripping off my chin and all that. Like, what the fuck am I doing with my life? I did tell him I'm no shite, by the way. That was just a bad gig. That was the worst fucking gig of my life, mate. How mental was that?
It was so fucking mind-blowing, but yet the funniest fucking thing ever. It was amazing. It was amazing.
So you're performing at East Kilbride week on Saturday, is it?
Yes.
That's the 5th.
Yes, please.
Right, okay.
It's £10 a ticket. Please come.
Well worth it.
Cool.
And when's the new comedy with Robert Florence coming out?
The state of it will be later this year. We don't have a date yet, but probably around late October, November time.
Well, good luck with that, Joe.
Thank you very much.
Darren, it's been a pleasure, my man.
Thank you, mate.
cheers.
Thank you very
Grado,
much.
thank you.
How about I am part of it? I feel like a guest there.
Scot Squad special. Thanks, guys.
Cheers, trips.
Cheers.